well. I suspect our friends at the National Weather Service are seeing this exact feature. That is likely debris. Give me a velocity signature, Matt, and I'm going to hold my finger right here, and you're going to see the velocity. Look at that, right at the end of my finger. Don't even need to move it, Matt. It is right here, folks. We've got a tornado on the ground. I can tell you that with high confidence. That is east of Route 61, right here is where the tornado is. We're south of Norwalk. We're east of Route 61. We're north all the way down here. That's Route 162. We're down here, Route 162. You're probably about a mile away from that tornado. We've got a circulation that is occurring right now. There's Route 162. So we're somewhere north of Route 162. In this area, and Matt, I want to focus right here. I mean, can you get me even a little bit closer?
Yes, I can.
Because this is where I suspect. Give me a landmark as well. Okay, all right, here we go. That's a land. There's 250. Okay, so we're bound right now. We've isolated this tornado, and this is what we can do with Doppler radar. We're getting down to individual communities, to street level. Till 8:15 is when this tornado warning is active. But the things I'm seeing right now, concerned enough that this is the tornado right here, folks. We've got winds that are going away from Doppler radar. So they're going away in that direction. We've got winds that are coming toward Doppler radar, where we have what we call gate-to-gate shear. Brand new spin right there, okay? We got a new spin. We're still seeing the rotation, all right? Large area of rotation. Here's the winds going away. There's the winds coming toward. We're tucking that tornado right here as well.
We do have new information coming in as well. That tornado warning continues for Erie, Huron, and Sandusky, of course, until 8:15. And it was capable of producing a tornado. This system is just located 8 miles south of Norwalk, and of course, southeast at 40 miles per hour.
Thank you, Matt. Great information. We're doing you guys one better right now. We're not telling you 8 miles south of Norwalk. We are showing you exactly where that tornado is, and it is now just east of 61. And I have very high confidence that this is very likely a tornado that is actively on the ground. We've got more reports of just damage coming in, and we're going to get back to our friends in Point Place as well. But we've got Ottawa River Road exit closed, I-75. If you plan on getting off there, you got to go all the way up to Alexis. You're not going to be able to get off Ottawa River Road. The damage is incredible that we've seen. The video is incredible as well. All right, Matt, hold this right here. All right. So let's see. So we've got Doppler radar. Give me just our sweep. Give me a clean sweep here of what we have. There we go. Okay. So we expect that we're getting the rotation somewhere in this area. All right. Put it to the latest frame. And we expect this is, just east of 61. And here's where it's going to be going next, all right? So we're right around 61 now. That's where I believe this confirmed tornado is. And I saw debris on radar based on what we have, a tornado debris signature. That is going to be moving east-southeast, and this is going to be headed over toward Route 250 is where that's going to be headed. So somewhere between right now, State Route 61, south of Route 20, and now still west of 280, we're seeing some indications. All right, so do a favor for me, Matt. Just go back a few scans on our tornado debris signature, because a little bit of good news. I'm not seeing. There it is, folks. It is right there. All right, go back again, Matt. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit more of it. If it will. Okay, that's what I feel. All right. So do you see that anomaly right there? That right there, freeze right here. I expect that likely is tornado debris that is occurring. It's located with a velocity signature. It is located with the worst part of the storm. This right along Route 61, I suspect that there may be some damage in that area that caused this debris. This a debris field that Doppler radar can actually sample from the air. It can tell the difference between that being tree branches or beams of wood or insulation from a roof or whatever it be. Doppler radar can distinguish that we're seeing something unusual on radar. So there's Route 61, likely some tornado debris. And now the good news, Matt, are we up to current frame right now?
That is current frame right now.
Do we see it right now? No, we don't, which is hopeful news, all right? So I have high confidence that we had a tornado in this area, Huron County. This was somewhere right in the vicinity of Route 61, just east of Route 61. Matt, for our friends, just do it again. Let's take us back on a quick loop here. And then I also want to see a current velocity signature in case we're still seeing it. Yeah, slow it down a little bit for me, because we're gonna have to get really granular on this, or just kind of drag it back and let's get a little slow. Yep, there it is. So a little bit of a blue hint right there, a little bit of a blue hint. indicates that was likely some debris from a tornado. All right, Matt, give me the latest velocity signature. I want to see if we're still seeing some rotation. Yep, of course we are. Right here, those are the winds going away. These are the winds going toward. So winds coming toward the radar or toward me right now. Likely down here, this is probably an area that's got some strong inflow into this storm system. So that is drawing that moist air, drawing that air up into the storm system, where then it's rotating and being drawn around. So we've got a circulation that's occurring right in this area. That is north of Route 162. It is east of Route 61, and it is headed toward 250. I'm quite confident that with this signature, it's still very likely that we had or have a tornado that is actively on the ground. We've had several reports, several videos that have come in from our viewers. We can get the Point Place video back up for our viewers as well. If you want to see what happened in Point Place earlier this evening, this is that tornado, confirmed tornado, ripping roofs off, tossing debris, and look at the debris just circling around. Incredible to see that debris that is just circling around. And then you're going to see here, coming up in just a moment, you're going to see a couple power flashes that occur. A couple power flashes as it tears up a few more areas of trees. Incredible video. This one coming from Point Place. And we'll re-rack this and we'll see it one more time. We'll see it. Here it goes. This was earlier this evening, confirmed tornado that occurred in Point Place. Shredding trees, roof. Look at the roof being lofted off. The debris that's just circling around. That is certain to be a confirmed tornado. We can see it. Circulation in contact with the ground. And a power flash that comes right about there. Boom. Into more trees. Another video that came in, and this was from the Point Place area as well, indicating that debris. And this was from Blake Loy in Point Place. Incredible video again of him sitting at a traffic light. Maybe he was heading home from dinner. Baseball game, who knows? And that tornado debris, just absolutely incredible. We very much hope that no injuries. We haven't had reports of them yet. We're optimistic that we're going to get through this without any major injuries, but I do suspect that that risk still does continue. A couple areas of risk that we're looking at. All right, large hail again. South of Norwalk, right along Route 250. This is an area that still could be very well seeing large hail. I would expect that 1 inch to 2 inch hail in diameter, not out of the question with this particular cell, a supercell that's been historically producing large hail, hail the size of eggs, tennis ball, and baseball size hail, and more hail that's coming in. We're getting reports now, Tiffin seeing some hail under a severe thunderstorm warning. Here's the video coming in from Maria Williams in Tiffin. We've got some large hail that's been occurring over toward Tiffin. Looks to be like perhaps nickel-sized hail. We've seen larger today. Meteorologist Matt Willoughby, correct, we are still under a severe thunderstorm warning for Tiffin as well?
Yes, correct. We're still under a severe thunderstorm warning for Tiffin, as well as they just issued a new one, and that is for Erie, Huron, in Sandusky County. So there's a new severe thunderstorm coming in with threat considerable, and of course a tornado possible.
All right, so repeat that one again, Matt, that last tornado warning?
There's a severe thunderstorm warning.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
So now a tornado warning is still in effect.
Okay, tornado warning still in effect, and that tornado warning, let's tap the time on that again, Matt, that tornado warning, because current time right now is 8:10, and we're actively covering a severe weather situation. We're doing it live on WTO11, that tornado warning in effect for Huron County until 8:30. We've got thousands of people that are impacted by this, which is why, as a public service, we do this. We cover it for you. We keep you safe. We suspect we've had several confirmed tornadoes. A very large hail, this one from earlier in the evening toward Point Place. Tree damage in Point Place. Not only was it the hail shredding the trees, but the winds and the tornado that came through Point Place. Authorities are still telling residents of Point Place, do not leave your house in Point Place. We want you tucked away all nice and safe. There's a lot of damage, a lot of debris. There's power lines that are down. We don't want anybody hurt or impacted by this. So here it is, that tornado that came through Point Place, that tornado earlier this evening, boy, lifting that roof. How about that destruction? and you're going to see this wind field, this wind continue to whip around, and a power flash is going to come, and you're going to see the power flash just as this video turns around, heads into another area of a field, some trees, and then I do expect that we're going to be seeing damage that is going to be continuing to come from these tornadoes as they enter or continue across our area. Matt, I'm going to head back over toward Huron County, please. Can we do that? Let's get back toward radar in Huron County. A couple things I want you to run through as well. We've highlighted that area of concern, which is east of State Route 61. It appears we're likely getting a little bit closer to 162 or perhaps Route 250 as well. Let's go ahead and clear that lightning off. I mean, we don't need the lightning right now. We know that that's going to be a danger with any thunderstorm. We want to focus on let's talk velocity, all right? So let's go back to what we're seeing, all right? So here's still that area, okay? So this is north of Route 162. Close to the junction with Route 250. So I'm going to highlight that for you. So there's Route 250. There is State Route 162. I've got you right here. I've got that rotation. It is just north of Route 162. This is still the potential area of that rotation that is occurring right now. This is the same area that meteorologist Matt Willoughby and myself, we actually caught a tornado debris signature, which means that was something we feel that was picked up by a tornado and lofted up into the sky. So something we feel that we actually captured on radar due to this particular circulation. And I do expect that this circulation still is going to be heading down and close to Route 162 and Route 250. This is a fairly rural area of Huron County. Gets a little bit hilly as well, believe it or not. Route 162 right there. We're seeing some broader rotation as well. Anything that's concerning you, Matt, beyond what we're seeing on radar right here with the current velocity?
Oh yeah, not too concerning, but of course there's still a dangerous storm out there. And as I check chat right now, looks like they did, in fact, expire that tornado warning for parts of Erie, Huron, and Sandusky.
Okay, so one tornado warning left then. Is that where we stand right now? That one tornado warning would be for Huron County, correct?
Yes, correct.
How about Norwalk here? Let me just go up and double check in Norwalk that we're all clear. I want to make sure. So it looks like if you go a little bit wider, I'm expecting, if you're telling me what you're saying on chat here, is that this larger tornado warning, that's going to expire, okay?
Yes.
So that's going to be coming off our screen here in just a little bit. Not certain why that hasn't dropped off, but this is still the active tornado warning. It is outside of Willard. It is well south of Norwalk, and we've actually pinned that rotation a little bit closer to this area. And again, we're a very rural part of Huron County. We're well east of Willard right now. We're in this vicinity, so if you're in Norwalk, I really believe that you're going to be just fine. You're safe at this point. It is south of Norwalk, and Matt, if you get a little closer, let's try to get granular because we're west of New London. We're getting some new streets here. Okay, so this is Route 224. We're still north. Our circulation is still north of that. We're closer to 162. Where we have that rotation. So yeah, bring me up here, 162 and 250. This is the area right here. There we go. That's it. This is the area, and go ahead and give me a velocity scan one more time here. Yep, see, it's moving south on us. It's moving a little bit south. There it is. So we've got some rotation here. It is now south of 162, and this is actually headed towards 224 now. So this is headed towards 224 east of Willard. That's an area of concern as far as the velocity signature would go, with winds that are going away and winds that are going toward the radar signature. And just about 10 minutes ago, you and I, Matt, we saw it ourselves, indication of tornado debris that was showing up on Doppler radar. We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to detect tornado debris. Matt Willoughby is going to go ahead and show that right now. What we saw earlier today, while it's a bit of a muddied picture, we're not seeing it right now. We're not seeing any tornado debris right now. So if you take us to the latest picture here, and just go back, Matt, if you can, just inch me back like a scan or two, if you're able to. You go back another scan or two. Let's see if we can identify where we actually had that tornado debris signature. I think it was somewhere right up here, just behind our banner, is my guess. Yeah, it was right here. Go back a little bit more. It was closer to 162. There it is. There it is. So that's what a tornado looks like, a tornado debris signature. You're seeing this here on WTO11 and Fox 36 when we're covering our live tornado coverage. What we can do with Doppler radar, tornado debris signature, quick explanation. When a tornado develops, typically ingests a lot of air. It can shred trees. It can knock roofs off or grind up some insulation, lofts that debris up into the air. We're actually able to detect it in Doppler radar, and I suspect we caught it right here, Route 61, just east of Route 61 and headed toward 250. So when I look at it, when I look at Doppler radar and I'm looking for a tornado debris signature, that's what I'm looking for right there, and we captured it. Hopefully we're able to warn you as well, saying we can confirm with radar that there's an active tornado. We don't see that right now, Matt, because if you take me to the latest scan, this was about 7:59. We don't see that right now. This stuff on the southern edge of it, that's not what I'm concerned about. That's just a little radar contamination. That is not a tornado debris signature. I'll be clear about that one. We need it. We need it in a specific area. We need it co-located or directly over a velocity signature. So Matt, go ahead and give me that velocity signature. I'm guessing it's going to be right here at the end of my finger. There it is. Okay, velocity signature right here. So we are still laser focused on this area. We're getting very close to this particular cell, making its way out of Huron County. And hopefully as it does so, it's just maybe perhaps a wall cloud or something that's spinning in the atmosphere. But we've got a rotation point right here, Route 162. This is Route 250 as well. We still got air that's just flowing in. It's just riding that boundary right up into that thunderstorm, just riding it in. And winds that are circulating around. And by the fact that we actually caught a tornado debris signature earlier in the evening, just about 19 minutes ago at 7:59, to the minute, that's when we caught it on Doppler radar. 7:59, we caught a tornado debris signature right over Route 161 northeast of Willard. And now that circulation is down in this area south of 162 and along Route 250 or headed toward Route 250. This is a very rural part of Huron County. I get it. I understand that. And you may be wondering, well, why are we doing coverage continuous? We've been on air since about 6:15, 2 straight hours. We're doing it because it matters. We're doing it because people's lives matter. And we're doing it because we've been impacted by tornadoes tonight. We've got video as well, point place video of active tornadoes that were with us earlier this evening. Once again, this video from Blake Loy. He's just sitting at a traffic light. And here comes tornado just right across the road. This in the vicinity of Suter Avenue. Look at the tornado debris. Look at the roof that was lofted off and launched into the roadway. And the circulation, yeah, very evident around that tornado as that made its way through Point Place. We're very hopeful. We don't have reports of any widespread injuries at this time. We hope it remains that way. Look at even some of that debris just being sucked into that circulation as well. Many folks in Point Place, you witnessed a tornado today. I could tell you that with absolute certainty. Had another video as well. Same picture in Point Place of that circulation. There it is, clearly in contact with the ground, picking up the trees, breaking the branches, lifting the roof off, and just tossing it like it's a toy. And that confirmed tornado, or will be a confirmed tornado in Point Place. So we'll see a power flash coming up here in just moments. Folks, this is why we're covering it. I understand you've got programming. We'll get back to it when we're able to. We will get back to it when we're able to, but there is an active severe weather situation. We've had large hail. How about Suter Avenue, Point Place? This is the damage that we recorded earlier today, pictures that were sent in by our viewers. Significant damage, and authorities are still saying if you're in Point Place, please do not venture outdoors. Let the authorities get a hold of the situation. We need to clean up the mess. We have power lines down. Latest report, over 8,000 customers without power. And of course, a damage another threat is lightning as well with this. Numerous lightning strikes. And how about this? This video, this was from the Cedar Point area. And folks, what do we tell you? We want you indoors, right? This is an example of, another danger. We want you indoors though, folks, okay? Somebody getting, that's the exit heading toward the causeway at Cedar Point, right? So they were in their car. You can tell they were listening to the warning. They were heading out of Cedar Point, as we said, that approaching Cedar Point. Lightning strike at Cedar Point. Absolutely. Boy, very, very scary to see that as well. All right, we're going to wrap this up here. We're going to keep on this one because we still have an active tornado warning that is ongoing right now. Southeastern parts of Huron County is where we've got that active tornado warning. We can get really laser focused in on this, which we've been doing this all night. We get down to street level, we get down to community level, we tell you where the threat is. We also tell you when you're past the threat as well. Now that threat is headed toward New London, down toward Ruggles. This is Route 60, Route 250 that essentially runs parallel to it. Here's State Route 13 as well, and 224. So if you're familiar with 224 and the junction of 13, Matt, I want to see our velocity signature. Keep it right here. And I want to see our velocity signature. All right, here it is. All right, so we can find it for you. There's State Route 13. Here's 250. Here's 224. They kind of make a nice right angle triangle, don't they? We've got Route 13 right there along 224 and 250. If I could pinpoint street level exactly where that risk is, it is in this area right now, okay? We've got inflow that's coming into this storm. We've got rotation that's still backing around. I still have fairly high confidence that at very least we've got a wall cloud,
Chris, we do have new information coming in as well of that tornado warning, and new tornado coming in for Ashland County, Huron County, of course, and Richland County. So it's coming in, popping up right on the screen right here.
Okay. So, Matt, do me a favor. I want you to go back to our whole area view and give me a look at radar, because I want to give a quick assessment of what our active warning situation is, because as far as our viewing area goes, we're getting very close to what we hope to be the end of our coverage. Just give me the whole view here, Matt, because we've got an active severe thunderstorm warning for Tiffin. We're still keeping an eye on you in Tiffin. We highlighted some of the hail that is occurring, but as far as the tornadic circulation goes, this is going to go into Ashland and Richland counties. And once it does that, I will tell you, we will be able to send you back to your regularly scheduled programming. But at this point, we're not ready to do that. We've got an active tornado warning that's going. I understand your frustration. If you're here in the Toledo Metro and you're thinking, what are we talking about? We've had confirmed tornadoes tonight. We've had tennis ball size hail tonight, and we still believe we have an active tornado that is on the ground. This is a courtesy that I would do for my family, and I will do for you as well. We will cover tornado warnings through their duration when they pose a risk to our area, and that is exactly what we're doing. Folks, look at the video. It proves it tonight. Active tornadoes that did impact our area. This video was from Point Place, and something that many have never lived through. Some may remember the more historic tornado outbreaks of June of 2010 or back toward Palm Sunday. We're not saying this is anything like that, but we've had active tornadoes, and that matters to people. Our safety matters, which is why we're keeping you informed of what is going on. Active tornado warning, as you've seen the video of why we're doing this coverage, is now for Huron County, and Matt's going to get in very closer to that. We still do have, hold right here for a second, Matt, as well. I want to just give our friends in Tiffin a quick update as well. If you could pull radar back. Over toward Tiffin, that would be great. All right, so we had some hail in Tiffin. There's no doubt about that. That cluster of storms right there, that was producing hail in Tiffin. It seems like it's going to be just north of 224. It'll scoot north of Attica, but in this area, we've got Route 4 in this area as well, so it's going to be headed toward there. I'm going to suspect that this is probably nickel-sized hail, so it'll get your attention. It's likely not going to damage anything or cause any big issues, but that'll get your attention, and there's the video. How about this? Crew's doing such a great job. This is the video from our viewers in Tiffin indicating the hail that did come down. And yeah, I would estimate if you look over at that video, that's perhaps pea to nickel-sized hail that's showing up in the video as well. So thank you to our viewers that have been able to safely send in some of the pictures and video, still indicating about ½ hail size in Tiffin. So we're not forgetting about you over toward Tiffin. We love you down there in Seneca County, okay? We do have some hail that's reported, but I don't have anything beyond some nickel-sized hail that perhaps is going to be an issue for you. Let's go back east of Route 4 now, because this is where the more concern is. And that new extension of the tornado warning, that goes down into Ashland and Richland County. I promise you, once we get into that territory, we will end our coverage as long as we don't have any continuing threats. But I want to go back here. This is the area that we still are concerned about. And once we see this expire, Matt, I want you to keep kind of an eye on things, because I really do think we're getting close to the end of the risk here in our area. If you can give me kind of a velocity signature, double check on chat, because I do know that tornado warning is about to expire. At least for the existing one for Huron County. It still is active here for southeastern Huron County. 224, Route 13. This is going to be headed a little bit closer to 250, just west of Ruggles on Route 60. That's a strong indication of this is the area that we're seeing the rotation. But eventually, this will cross out of Huron County. And once it does cross out of Huron County, We'll take a few moments, we'll do an assessment, we'll recap some of the damage, some of the incredible videos, and rest assured our crews are out, they're scouring the streets and making sure that everyone's safe and checking with local authorities, and some maybe perhaps dealing with power outages as well. Latest report of over 10,000 power outages in the area. There's the area of concern right now, just outside of New London, west of Ruggles. There's State Route 13, there's Route 224. That's the area of concern that at least has my attention right now. It is extreme southeastern parts of Huron County. We're still covering this active tornado warning. Folks, we've had tornadoes reported, and I suspect we may end up multiple tornadoes that were reported tonight, and folks may be cleaning up from damage for several days now as we see that tornado. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening out there in this particular cell in Huron County, as what we detected, what we expect was a tornado debris signature, at least for a time, as it crossed Route 61. Matt, any new information that's coming in on chat, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, we got new information coming in that tornado warning for Huron County has been expired and has been officially canceled for tornado warning in Huron County.
Okay, sounds good. So that makes me feel a whole lot better, although I'm still seeing some rotation in this area. That tornado warning will extend for Ashland and Richland County, so we're not entirely out of the woods yet. So while we're waiting and just making sure the assessment that we're clear on this one, let's recap. Matt, give me kind of a wider radar perspective, and then on Max 2, Matt, I want you to get maybe just some of the National Weather Service storm reports over on Max 2 then that you'll be able to share coming up in just a few moments. So we've got a couple clusters of storms. Right here is perfect, Matt. I appreciate that. This is great. We've got a couple clusters of storms, severe thunderstorm warning that's still in effect for Seneca County, severe thunderstorm warning that still is in effect for parts of Erie and Huron County, and a tornado warning that is now just exiting out of Huron County, and we're getting word now that that tornado warning will be dropped for our area, headed over toward Richland and Ashland County. And once that tornado warning expires, I expect we're going to be all clear of that. But we've had numerous reports of damage. Let's start with the large hail. We've had reports of large hail across the area. Reports initially came in at egg-sized hail, elevated to tennis ball and baseball-sized hail that was reported. This picture was from Point Place, very large hail. That's big enough. That does damage, folks. It shreds trees, dents cars. It causes big issues. There's the wind damage in Point Place, and look at some of those massive tree limbs. Big damage. And over toward Suter, in Point Place, we had some significant damage that was reported across the area. How about this? A viewer picture that was sent in, and I'll stress this once again. Folks, we don't want you, if you're in the Point Place area, we do not want you headed out at all into this. We do expect that we are going to be seeing damage cleaned up for quite some time as we go through the coming days. We do have our news team, and I'll have Dan Cummins. He's in studio. I'll have him back over at the desk, and he can relay any new reports that are coming in. We've got our full news team, our full weather staff is on this one. We've got Dan Cummins in studio as well. Dan, you've been a mountain of information and storm reports that have been coming in. You've got some brand new information.
Well, first of all, I want to thank our viewers for just being great, sending in videos and photos and so forth. We just got official word from Toledo Edison that the impact of the storm is 16,000 customers right now are impacted without power right now in the region, and over a dozen, this is in the Point Place area now, secondly, over a dozen broken poles and down power lines in that area. Of course, that was incredible video we showed a little while ago, Chris, that you had. And there we go again. That was our first video we ever got here in the newsroom about 2 hours ago of a funnel cloud going through Point Place area. And you can see the roof fly off, and a little bit later we're going to see that the power line being disrupted there. So there's a lot of damage in the area. As Chris reported a little while ago, they have closed off the Ottawa River Road exit off I-75. If you want to go that region, even to go down Alexis, go all the way up to Alexis, because you cannot get off at Ottawa River Road right now.
Yeah, power line's a big concern, Dan. We've had many of storms where people have received injuries or worse when they go out after a storm to assess damage. If you are in an area that has received storm damage, we've got many areas like this, Point Place. You're seeing another perspective. This one, this video from Blake Loy in Point Place. He was just sitting at that stoplight, and look at this tornado coming right toward his windshield, tossing that debris up, lofting that debris, and watch the impressive part is the inflow into the storm. That debris is just flying sideways Is it not a little Wizard of Oz-like, isn't it? That debris is flying sideways. An indication that there was some power, there was some twisting, there was some motion within that tornado as it came through Point Place. So we have had confirmed tornadoes that have impacted the area this evening, and I do expect that the damage will still be assessed tonight. We don't have any reports, at least at this moment, of injuries. We very much hope it stays that way, because when you see video like this, you certainly know things could go a different way. That roof just torn off, just tossed off, and that damage in and around Suter and Point Place. And crews telling people, just if you're in the Point Place area, stay home at this point. All right, we've got meteorologist Matt Willoughby with a quick update. Matt, what you got going on over there?
Yeah, so we got a few storm reports. Of course, we have in Seneca County some pea-sized hail, and as well as in Green Springs, pea-sized hail. We also do have just in a flash flood warning for Erie and Huron County, and that is in effect at least until tomorrow at 1:30 a.m. Of course, as we switch over, we do have, of course, a few storm reports just north of Toledo, about a hail size just of 1.3 inches. And of course, as we go up to at least into Monroe County, where you can see it, we did see a tornado warning up there. Did see several reports, some trees down, even power lines down, just into Detroit Beach, that is. And of course, right back here.
And Matt, just hang there for a second. That's the first tornado warning that we covered this evening. Correct. It was just north and east of Monroe, out there towards Stony Point. And now we're getting confirmed reports, it looks like, of power lines down and damage to that area. And I really just can't stress this enough. Folks, we got damage all over the place. Let's just, if you're in an area that was hit by a storm tonight, do not be out there trying to investigate damage. Now, if you're a homeowner, all right, and you've got a live wire down or a wire down, you may not know if it's live or not. I want you to stay at least 30 feet away. I'll tell you to stay a football field away. I don't care. Just stay away from it, all right? Call 911 immediately, and I want you to warn others to stay away, especially children that may not know better. This stuff matters, people, all right? We don't want anybody injured by power lines. We've got reports of, I think Dan Cummins said up to 16,000 people, was that, Dan, without power at this point. So we're going to have power lines that are going to be down for quite some time. Really tough to assess if they're live or not, right? So let's just stay away from them. I can't stress that enough. Specifically the Point Place area. We've got numerous power lines down. Some viewers even reporting possibly a smell of gas. So who knows? Could it have ruptured a gas line? We don't know at this point. We're still assessing the damage. So just stay away. Stay away from any of that damage. Good news a little bit here for Tiffin. I'm going to give you the all clear now in Tiffin. That's part of what we do as well. We also tell you when things are all clear. We don't want you to worry anymore if you're in Tiffin. That storm threat is over for you in Tiffin. I'll give you the all clear Sandusky. I've given you the all clear over toward Port Clinton. I'm giving you the all clear. We've given you that in Fremont as well. We still have some strong storms, though, that are rumbling through Erie and Huron County. And still officially, the tornado warning that is down there toward southeastern parts of Huron County. There was some active rotation. Now, meteorologist Matt Willoughby, he's going to go in a little bit closer to that. Matt, take me in there. All right, here's what's going to happen. So we're going to stop this right here, Matt, okay? And we're going to put up our velocity signature, and it's going to be right here. It's going to be in this area. There it is, okay? So it is now out of Huron County, all right? So I'm going to give you the all clear as far as the tornado risk in Huron County. Even though our data says, even though it's an active tornado warning, we can assess it on the fly right now. We no longer have a threat of any tornado warning. So I want to put you at ease, all right? There's still storms. There's still the risk of lightning. There's still the risk of some small hail. There's still the risk of gusty winds. So we're not completely out of the woods. But as far as the active tornado situation, I'm to the point right now where I'm telling you we're all clear in Huron County. That has now moved out. So that is something we could kind of move on for. Matt, give me radar again. Give us our reflectivity and widen it out a little bit. It would be a little bit closer to Bailey Lakes. All right, so we can move a little bit away from this one. Let me take up toward Erie and Huron County. I just want to take a quick assessment because we still do have, this appears to be a flash flood warning that came in. I can tell by the data right now. Well, there's several things going on. We've got severe thunderstorm warning, but there is a flash flood warning. Matt, check chat or cue it right up here towards my finger. You'll be able to see it. It wants to give you a road, of course. There it is. All right, we got a flash flood warning. That's going to be in effect till 1:30. I'm just going to estimate, Matt, if we can, at some point, we can get rainfall estimates. That would be helpful because flash flooding, another risk with this. I'm going to estimate this, probably 3-4 inches, maybe up to 5 inches of rainfall. Yeah, you don't need to put any numbers up. It's a boatload of rain, all right? From Sandusky to Norwalk, back to Bellevue, down to New London. That's a boatload of rain, all right? So we're going to have some flash flooding in those areas in addition to the risk of still some downpours that are going to come in. Some areas could end up, to be honest with you, over 6 inches of rain. I wouldn't be surprised if some areas in Erie and Huron County, because we've got another cluster of rain coming through. Switch back over to our radar, Matt, and you're going to see, there it is. It's just kind of another wave of rain coming through, another cluster that's coming out of Seneca County that's going to be moving through. Let's take a look one more time, and I'm going to check in then with our news department to see if there's any latest breaking information coming in. But as far as a severe weather threat, I don't have any continued risk of a tornado at this point. I'm going to go and tell you that risk is all clear. And we want to be the first to do that. We want to be the first to tell you when things are clear as well, not just when they're happening, but when they're clear as well. So we've had confirmed tornadoes this evening, confirmed tornadoes in Point Place. We've got some brand new information that appears to be coming in as well. New outage numbers. We're looking at 1,500 outages in Erie, 3,300 in Huron, 9,000 in Lucas, 2,100 in Ottawa, and 3,600 in Sandusky. Who could do quick math? 15, 20,000 people without power at this point. So it's oodles of people without power. So we want you to be prepared for perhaps the night without power as well. We do have Dan Cummins in studio right now. And Dan, if he has any more information, please feel free to pass it along as well, as we are now seeing an end to our tornado threat. And there it is officially. The National Weather Service, as we said now, has trimmed the Huron County tornado warning. We don't have any active situations. Dan, I will bring you in. Do you want to give a quick recap of some of the damage that's been coming in from authorities? Because from a weather perspective, I will tell you, we're in much better shape now. We have a couple storms, but there's not a continued tornado threat, and we certainly want people to be clear on that.
Yeah, our news director, Lauren Wepler, passed this along. Rough notes from Melissa Andrews, who's out in the scene in Point Place. She spoke to Mayor Wade. There were at this time zero reports of 911 calls inside any buildings at this time. Crews are assessing damage. The mayor has called the governor's office to notify and make sure if any help and assistance are needed. Wade is advising people to stay out of the streets. Wires are down, and as you said, then there's a smell of gas in the area. I think that smell of gas was around the Suter area, around that Kroger, that building that was knocked down. That's what we have for now.
Yeah, unbelievable, Dan. We're just getting some of the latest data with what's happening right now. Pretty incredible as we watch this video. And again, we showed you this, and we confirmed it immediately on air when we saw it. We said, folks, that's a tornado. That came through Point Place earlier this evening. Reason why we were on, reason why we were covering this. And the reason why we have that commitment to be with you. And meteorologist Matt Willoughby. Matt, just from your assessment, talk about some of the things you're seeing here. The power flash, the trees swirling, the debris.
Yeah, I mean, the debris has just been tossed thousands of feet in the air. And as you can see, homes right there in the path of this. Incredible footage of just destruction in that area.
Yeah, incredible. And we're very fortunate that we are now past our severe weather threat, all right? So we're very clear about that. So let me tell you what we're going to do is we kind of end with a recap of these videos here. We are telling you that we're all clear of any widespread severe weather, although I want folks in Erie and Huron County to be on their toes still because you do have an active severe thunderstorm warning. At this point, that does not necessitate a continued on-air coverage. We have been with you tonight now for about 2.5 straight hours. It is a service that we are proud to provide for you. I understand it disrupts some of your regular programming, but I think we could agree, based on the fact that we've confirmed tornadoes across the area, there's been widespread damage, baseball-size hail, tennis ball-size hail, and likely several other tornadoes that were confirmed. We are all glad and fortunate that we haven't had any widespread injuries with this. Should we need to be back on air tonight, you know we're going to be back on here for you covering the latest with the storms. But again, a recap of several tornado warnings that were across northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. Multiple confirmed tornadoes tonight and some of the largest hail that we've seen in better part of a decade or more. We hope that you all stay safe tonight. Stay away from any of those power lines. And if you're one that has a neighbor that has power outages, perhaps maybe you want to reach out and give them a hand. Stay away from any of that damage and the power lines, and we will continue our coverage. You can download that free WTL11 weather app, and of course, we're going to keep you up to date with that. Also, our WTL11 news app and our social media. We will continue to follow this, but also keep you up to date tonight on WTOL at 11. We'll send you back to the regularly scheduled programming with one more look at this video from Blake Loy out in Point Place, a confirmed tornado that came across the area, just lofting that debris into the sky, and there it goes. That roof. Our crews are out there making sure that we are all staying safe. We want you to stay safe tonight, and we will have more coverage on WTOL 11 tonight. Stay safe, everyone.